Hey, welcome into this Lendza review. I'll be showing you an in-depth look of this startup small business loan platform, as well as many more products that it has, like the merchant cash advance side of things that you're going to want to listen into, because this can help accelerate your business loan request and you can get funded same day. I'll show you how to go through all that, and those levels are going to really help increase your business. Now, I know the troubles you're going through. I know you try to go through a bank, they deny you. Try to go through your deeper savings account, and you can't, right? You're probably putting money away to your children's tuition, or you're saving that for a rainy day, whatever the case may be, and you can't even ask your friends and family anymore. Okay, I get that. So Lendza here can help. It's not only for small business startups, which we're going to be looking at, focusing on, and just going through the whole platform one by one. So strap in, put your belt on. Just kidding, you're not in the car, are you? Maybe you are watching this from the car. Hopefully you have your belt on while you're driving and you're doing this safely, right? I prefer you not to. But anyways, what you can see here, Lendza says, because you need money to make money. Now, there are many different features we're going to go through, and you can see in the navigation, it goes from funding requests, where it's where you would get started, to the products, how it works, FAQ, calculator, and then blocks. So we'll be covering that. So this will be a little bit of an in-depth, a little bit longer video, but it'll be full of value for you so you can get your startup going, or if you're already moving and you want to know more details about this, if it can help. So it says small business funding up to $350,000, secure funding request, funding in as soon as 3 business days, free request, no application required, which is an advantage. I know there's some lenders, some providers and platforms out there that would require you to have an application. There's an application fee to go through, and whether it is minor or major, don't want to spend that. And so you don't have to with them, so that's a clear advantage. Secure funding, and then funding as soon as in 3 business days. Now, down here, you can kind of play with this, and you can drag this over to see how much you'd like to borrow with the slider. And it's from 5,000 to 350,000 maximum. Okay, and then after you do that, you can go ahead and go put your email, first name, and then view funding options, and then you're going to be given some details. We'll try to go over this later in the video, try to demo it a little bit for you, so stick with me. Okay, so we scroll down here, Lendza.com. It works with trusted providers such as Fora Financial, you have Credibility, Bluevine, LendRev, Easy Funding, Imperial Advance, Rapid Advance. So a little bit about Lendza, if we haven't covered this already. Lendza is here to help you find working capital for your business. Even if a bank has already turned you down, you may still be able to find funding through their hassle-free request form. Everyone at Lendza has an experience in the financial industry, so they know how it works. Their underwriting team, everything included. So they're ready to guide you through the process in a much more simple and straightforward way. So here are the 3 steps to get going with it. You'd want to start by filling out their brief questionnaire. They'll do their best to pair you with a provider who may be able to offer you financing. So they're the middleman. So they're not the direct lender. So they're filtering and they're sending that through lenders, and then the whole underwriting process takes place there, the whole approval process. So they'll help you know what to expect. Their informational product guidelines help you learn more about popular business financing products. Number 3, you'll know if you've been paired with a provider within a few seconds. Our service is free and it won't affect your credit score. Now, I know that's a concern of many, and that might be one you have right now. You're like, if I go through the application fee and I show them my credit card accounts, even my bank account information, will that affect my credit score? No, as you can see here. So requesting funding for your business, that's secure, hassle-free, it's reliable. How it works, we kind of just went over this already. Fill out your short form, wait a minute for us to try to find a provider for your small business, get your money sooner rather than later in those 3 business days, as I said. So here's just some more general information, and this is what I'm going to be going over at this segment of the video. So the first step is to figure out what type of business funding do you need. Right, there's all different types that they work with. So they have crowdfunding, and I won't go too specifically into the details here because we have a little bit to cover. Friends and family loans, banks, online lenders, credit unions, micro lenders. And by the way, if you want to know more information, maybe the things that I didn't cover very specifically in this video, I'll leave a link to Lendza down below in the description. Go ahead and get started. If you are requesting a startup, I'll have those links for you there. And just to kind of get more information about them. But I'm also going to have alternatives for you that you're going to want to listen to very carefully, because these can change the course of your small business for the rest of your life. Okay, so stick with me. Friends and family loans, banks, online lenders, credit unions, micro lenders, type of loans for established small businesses. And there's just a little bit more information. Business line of credit, which I'll go over in a moment more. What does it take to get a small business loan? Most providers use the same basic model for determining your eligibility. This model, it's focusing on a few of your company's most important attributes, such as here is what your provider will look for: credit score, potential collateral, annual revenue, net operating income, DSCR, proof that you are a U.S. citizen or at least 18 years of age. At least 18 years of age, not or, as well as other documents like your business and personal tax returns, bank statements, financial statements, and legal documents. Credit score, it's one thing that they focus on. Lendza does it a little bit differently. I mean, they focus also on the rates. So let's say you may have a bad credit score and get through, but you will have a higher rate. So we'll go over that in a moment. So it just kind of goes over here. If you have not built up your business credit, your personal credit score will need to be at least 600. Anything that is lower than that is considered poor credit. It's just going to give you some general information. Company age, capital. How do they determine your rate? Before you're approved for a loan, your provider will check to make sure you met some of the basic qualifications. They will check, the lenders, if you are a U.S. citizen, at least 18 years of age, have a real address, and from there they will ask for more information about your business specifically. Some of this information, type of loan, here's a list of what the lenders may look for when they're calculating rates: type of loan, credit rating, business credit rating, and just some extra factors that, I mean, I know you're like, just get through, come on, I want to go. What if I have bad business credit? Here is the part about the interests. If you have poor credit, you will likely end up paying more in interest and fees for your small business funding. So just be aware of that, okay? So just be aware, if you're going to go for a startup, they may accept you even if you have a poor credit score, but they're going to be looking at the rates. They're going to be increasing that. More to pay back, more things you to factor in. But if you're not in that startup business, and if you want more of a mediator, want a higher way, and you don't want to do this with rates, stick around with me, okay? Because I'll show you what that is, or you can look down below and I'll have my alternative for that. So if you think your business credit will affect your chances of attaining a loan, see if you qualify for SBA loans geared towards struggling businesses. This type of loan may require you to take classes. So what if my business is less than 3 months old? A lot of providers will ask for your financial history for the last 3 months. So they just want to know you've been in business, you've been generating some type of an income. And some of these alternative lending providers look less at that credit score, but more about how much you're making in monthly revenue. What is the age of your business? So there's flexibility within that, okay? But then this one, Lendza, has rates, unlike my alternative one that I highly recommend. Not for startups, by the way, but if you want to see that alternative, again, I'll leave it down below and I'll cover it a little bit later. So now let me go over here. Now this is the startup loan. So technology trusted since 2015, some benefits here. Great network of small business loan providers, does not affect your credit score, as I mentioned earlier. Same range, 5,000 to 350,000, depends also on the products you're going after. Okay, let me go through some of the details here. So businesses in the situation that you can't get lending through banks and other ways are better served by small business startup loans, which sometimes does not require the typical 2-year financial history record that many do look at, and that other types of funding ask for. So a maximum loan amount up to $750,000, loan term up to 5 years, interest rates 8% to 17%, time to funds as soon as 2 weeks. So you have startup loans at a glance. So a little bit of that. Startup loans for new businesses can range from $500,000 to $750,000. If you're trying to secure a loan on the higher end of that range, your lender may expect you to have a well-constructed business plan. As a borrower, you should be ready and able to tell your lenders how you plan to make that money. When you plan to make money and why you're better than your competition, that factors in a lot. Loan terms, they can range from 1 year up to 5 years. You should know that while you are paying back this loan. It may be harder for your business to secure another source of funding if you cannot, right? If you don't pay it back, it's like doing business with someone. If you don't pay that loan back in time, then they will not give you that flexibility to. But if you do, there's a lot of things like incentives you can get even with other programs. You pay things back fast, you get maybe some discounts, some advantages, some rewards. You should expect to pay fees on your loan. One of the main advantages of your startup loan is that as a business owner, you typically do not have to give up the equity in your company. Huge advantage there, as opposed to if you weren't a startup. There's other ways, especially traditionally. This means you can still own just as much as your company as you did before you took out that loan. So paying back your loan on time could also help you improve your business credit. A higher business credit score can help improve the chances that you will be able to secure a different type of business funding in the future. So you see how that pivotal role of credit helps. So if you do have a poor credit score, if we can work on that to get it up higher, you have flexibility to move through different types of business funding, higher amounts to secure more of that safety net you'll have to be able to fund your small business. So you don't have to worry so much about funding for more inventory or making more room. Maybe there's a patio you need to add, a deck, fence, more room, just to get out of a tight pinch, right? You want to circulate that cash flow throughout your business, making payroll in other ways. So disadvantages, well, this isn't always the case. You might end up paying a higher interest rate for a small business startup loan than a more established business would pay for a different type of funding. Just want to make that aware, okay? And just so you know, I am reading through this, but I do know this beforehand, okay? I've gone through these things, I know them, so I'm here to help you with this. So this will depend on a number of factors, including your personal credit score that they will look at. Further, your startup loan will typically need to be personally guaranteed. This means you will be responsible for all debts and fees in addition to being liable if you default on the loan. On top of that, some lenders, they do require collateral, not all, depending on how big of a loan you are asking for. And they're also going to look at dependability, kind of the credit, the rates that they're adding on top. If they trust you enough, if you are, maybe you're making, you're not a startup, but you're making a lot, maybe they'll give you more flexibility. But when you're a startup, you're kind of not at the bottom of the, I don't want to say the bottom of the barrel, but in a way you are, you know? So you got to take what you have and go with it and continue to prove yourself, and different things will come into play. On top of that, some lenders will require collateral, as I said, depending on the amount you ask for. Can end up being your house. The collateral can end up being your house, meaning that if your business failed, you would end up losing your house, okay? I know that's a lot to take in, so just be aware of that. Business line of credit, we're back to this. So if you're an individual seeking alternative small startup business funding options, can consider opting for a business line of credit. This is different from other types of small business funding options because they can be acquired before there's a national need for the funding. Most other financing options are taken out for a specific need. For example, short-term business loans are usually used to address a sudden expenditure, while long-term funding tends to be used for these long-term investments. And just some information of how business lines of credit work. I won't go too into detail on that, but there's more information. I'll leave that down below if you want to learn about business lines of credit, startup business lines of credit, so you can get help on that. Alternative small business startup loan options, business credit cards, angel investor, SBA loans, and so forth. Okay, so that is that section for the small business loan. Now let me come up here to the navigation, go through products. As you can see, the drop down, you have everything from accounts receivable financing all the way down to startup funding. So we can go through any of these, like bad credit business loans, and click there. And similarly, top of the fold, you'll see the same thing. But then we go down here and you'll get more information. So what is bad credit, very poor all the way to excellent. And I've worked with many people, by the way, if you're wondering, have I actually helped people with this? I have, not only with Lendza, but an alternative great solution, especially if you're not a startup, not for startups. You're going to want to listen again. We're getting there. Stick with me. Thanks for being here. And also let me know in the comment section, what type of business are you in? What kind of loan are you looking for? Are you a startup? Are you not a startup and you're looking for better solutions? Let me know what your experience has been down below in the comment section. Can you get a business loan with bad credit? Yes, you can. You can still qualify. And then with Lendza is one thing. and they will also increase the rates, as I said earlier, and they're going to put more weights on those factors. So your revenue history and time in business may be more important at that point if you have a bad credit score. If you don't, they might not look so much about the time in business. If you have maybe less, but you have a great credit score and you've proven you can make money with it, and then they'll be more flexible. So there's those. Why does it matter? And so forth. So you're thinking about what are the requirements. We'll go over there in a minute. So merchant cash advance. So there's a bunch of different options you can go through, but I want to go focusing on merchant cash advance. So this is not so much of a loan as it is an advance, a fast cash advance, meaning you can pay the loan back within a certain amount of time, maybe within a year or less, depending on what type of program you're with. That's what an advance is. You pay it back, okay? And then you go ahead and you can request more. It's not all about the grant where you can get the money, you don't have to pay it back, right? So there's differences within those two. So down here, you have options. So maximum funding amount up to 200,000, funding term usually around 9 months, factors, rates 1.14 to 1.48, times to funds as soon as 1 business day. So that's pretty quick. So there's examples there of merchant cash advance. And if you want to learn more about merchant cash advance and one of the best solutions for you, I have a video and information of that down below in the description as one of the best same day instant approval merchant cash ways to get approved, get your funding, pay off things in your business, move forward. That video down below, you want to look at that. Okay, so there's just more information about this. Proof of identification, EIN, bank and credit card statements, business tax returns, fees. It can be a little bit confusing for some people, but not all MCAs require fees to get started. Loan terms, approval process. Okay, just kind of giving you some main advantages, disadvantages. You likely pay more for a merchant cash advance than you'd pay for a different type of small business funding. This is because of factoring fee and additional fees that may be stacked on top of that. And I've been helping a lot of people within merchant cash advance. So again, that video down below. And if you want to have the free checklist that I give away, it's a free 6-step checklist for getting pre-approved for a small business loan and merchant cash advance. I'll leave that in the description. Go ahead and pick it up. No cost, no risk to you. It's very in detail, those 6 steps, as well as I give you bonus material and the right way to get started. So products here, we went over all these. I can't cover them all in one video, but just know that they're all here. All right, commercial construction loans, commercial real estate financing, equipment financing. So now let's go over here to how it works. Again, fill out the form. Step 2, get paired. Step 3, work with the provider. And then why Lendza is what you're questioning. Everyone in the Lendza family is well-seasoned members of the financial industry. They know what it takes to build a strong network of providers. They work around the clock. They form strong relationships with you and their providers. We're also proactive in their technology. That's what they're proactive in. They're also adjusting their routine routing system to figure out new and better ways to find you funding. Their goal is to pair every potential borrower with a funding source we sure will enjoy if you work with them. Okay, so before I show you the little process there, the FAQ. These are frequently asked questions. So I told you they're the middleman. What services Lendza offer to small businesses? A variety of them, as I just showed you through the products. How do you get small business funding? How do we connect consumers with funding? No fee. I do want to draw your attention down here to the rates. Interest rates vary by lender. We cannot give you a quote on your loan as we are not the lender. If you're able to receive a loan offer from the lender, they recommend reading over the interest and fees online in your loan agreement. So they'll give you the interest rate, if anything. How do rates get determined? Type of loan, your business credit rating, how long your business has been active, how successful your business is, whether you're securing the loan or not, state and federal regulations. If you have poor credit score, higher interest rates usually, and those fees go up. So just be aware of that. Let me go, I think I covered the ones that I needed to. The requirements, however, they're standard, depending on the lenders as well. Be a U.S. citizen, be at least 18 years of age, have an address, phone number, and email address. They're going to look through, lenders will look through credit score. Again, the rates factor, potential collateral, annual revenue, Lenders often require that businesses bring in an annual revenue greater than $50,000 net operating income to show that you can make your payments on time. You may need to show revenue that is at least 1.25 times greater than your expenses. And just more details there. There's a calculator, business capital eligibility estimator based on debt service coverage ratio. You can go through that, but I won't. Just a little blog here just to show you some more information. And then funding request, we go over here, request funding in 5 short steps. So start telling us about how much you need. You can select what it is here. Just kind of do 10 to 15,000 next step. And then you put your name and details in there. And now I'm not going to fill all this out because I know I'm just showing you a demo, but you can see we got to step 3, a little bit of personal information. There might be some more information thereafter that they will require, and then just business information, and then submit it all and you get answered and see if you can go forward with this. All right, so this is Lendza in a nutshell. Now let me show you, if you are somebody who wants a merchant cash advance, you're not a startup and you're looking for the best option, this is one of the hottest opportunities. It's unparalleled. It's unlike anything else that's out there right now. And if there is, by the time you're done watching this, by the time you're watching this video, it'll be somewhat of a copycat. And this is an amazing way to go ahead and get a business loan if you already have at least 6 months in business. And this is through Bank Breezy. You can get up to 25K same day, instant approval. How does that sound? Okay. Now there is unlike anything else out there like this. There are similar, somewhat competitors, but nothing matches to this because you get instant approval up to 25K with the minimum requirements, no rates included. They calculate based on monthly revenue and just a few short details. So 5,000 plus monthly sales, business checking account, 6+ months in business, 450 plus credit score. Insane. Did you hear that last part? Yeah, 450 plus credit score. That's very poor. You know, I was sitting at a dinner, my mom, my brother, his girlfriend, and I was just conversing about how I ran some ads and then just trying to help some people out. And you know how this company here only requires a 450 credit score. And she looked at me like, my brother's girlfriend, like, only 450? And I'm like, it's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity to jump into and go ahead and get it. So if you have 6 months in business, you're not a startup, you have 6 months in business, this is the best direction. And you can get up to $25,000. You're making just 5,000 plus in monthly sales. Go with Bank Breezy. This will be down below in the description. How does it work? Very simple. I just went over the qualification requirements. Again, 5,000 plus monthly bank revenue. I cannot stress this part out. Business checking account, 6 months in business, 450 credit score, all industries are included. So don't apply if that does not apply to you. You're going to waste your time, waste my time. I'm here to help you, truthfully, humbly, but I don't want you to go through it and be like, ah, man, this guy didn't even tell me about the qualifications. Breezy online process, view and accept the offer, link online banking, review approval terms, sign agreement online, receive funds. You get a back office, so you're keeping track of all these things. Simple and fair terms, no hard credit inquiries, transparent terms, no collateral is required. Unlike Lendza, where it might ask for that depending on the type of position you're in. Startup, you're not a startup. There's rates on how to add it onto that. So if you're not a startup and you're looking at Lendza, I would start looking at something like Bank Breezy, and I'll show you another one here too. That's a branch of them. So simple and fair terms, industry leading early pay discounts, so you get those discounts. Get more when you're going to need it. Payment history earns you more. Receive funds again. Add-on funds are available. Personalized account manager to help you, to keep you in the loop if you need help, and I'll be here as well too. And if you need more than 25,000, they have their main program through David Allen Capital Inc., where you can earn up to $2 million, right? In about 1 to 5 business days or so, you get your amount, not as fast as Bank Breezy, but you still get it really fast. So if you're requesting more, you're making 25,000 plus monthly bank in revenue. You have a business checking account, 4 months in business, 500 plus credit score, all industries are included. Go with David Allen Capital. which is, let me go ahead and type this in. And by the way, there's videos to these separate ones down below in the description. So if you want to learn more about them, there's blog posts too that I have for you. So if you want to learn about David Allen Capital, Bank Breezy, go ahead and look down there. And the other videos on like the best merchant cash advance, even if you have bad credit, best small business loans, and just more information in those videos. So David Allen Capital, quick funding up to 2 million, no fees included. Different things, customer financing, payment processing, equipment, healthcare, telecom, goes on and on. So if you need those types, those are in there as well. So that is everything from me in this video that I wanted to cover. So the pros of Lendza is you can still be a startup and get going. You can get funded very quickly, get an approval, get it very quickly, funds into your account so you can start putting it in your building, growing, expanding, get out of a tight pinch type of process. And they're very flexible. They have various different lenders with different qualifications. So if you meet one and it's great, you go with it. And it's very simple of a process to go through, so you don't have to spend a lot of time thinking through it and feeling like you're never going to end. You get through the process fast, get your business loan, start moving and accelerating forward. All right, so this is kind of the way to go through it. Some of the cons may be those interest rates may be a little high, especially if you're a startup, you have no proof of income. Even more, the bad credit score and other things that pile on top can have the higher interest rates on that. And so forth. You move from there going forward. I wouldn't say they're the best for merchant cash out advance. I would go with something like Bank Breezy and David Allen Capital. They are good, don't get me wrong, but just be aware of those things. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave me them down below in the comment section. I'd be happy to hear from you. And go ahead and look in the description, get started with Lendza, startups, and other ways if you want to learn more. Bank Breezy, definitely recommend them, David Allen Capital, as well as the other videos that I'll leave them down below in the description so you can view more about this. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss a video I'll be coming out with for more information about this kind of stuff. So click that bell notification icon because that'll alert you that I came out with a new video. And again, thank you for being here and listening today. I very, very do appreciate that. Thank you.